Yes, we are back with another car video. These are the best videos because they're the most personal. And also there's just a different vibe coming from talking in the car. It feels like you guys are really here with me. But anyway, I was holding off on telling this story, but I think it's about the right time because it's a story of how quickly your life can change, right? When you commit, when you go all in and you bet on yourself, right? How quickly your life can change from good to bad and from bad to good. So this is a story of how I got scammed, lost all my money, went dead broke, and then came back from that all within a year. So let's rewind this time last year. So this time last year, I was fully focused on building my AI business. It was an AI education business, right? I was teaching people. This is like right around the time of the ChatGPT wave. And I was teaching people how to use ChatGPT to supercharge their business, to make more money, so on and so forth, right? And I was doing pretty well. It was my first time having seen north of $10,000 in 1 week, right? My first time making truly passive income, not passive income, but let's say more recurring revenue, right? I could, I had made it to the point where I was able to work from anywhere in the world, shut my computer off, turn my phone off, and still rake in money, right? So I was doing all right for myself. I had just quit my last job at Apple support because I was trying to get into cybersecurity and IT, and I started this AI business, and I was like, I'm all into this AI business, right? And then, so the business picked up really quickly. This was the first time I'm seeing any of my business ideas and ventures start to see some kind of success, right? And the first time you start to see money, actual money, you get really excited. So what did I do? I start spending more, buying things I didn't need, buying clothes because I thought that it would make me look richer so that people would want to work with me, things that did not matter in hindsight, right? But nonetheless, I was still making decent money for the time. I'm talking about like let's say $8,000 to $10,000 a month. And it was all based on TikTok. So I was making good money through TikTok, and I did not understand the importance of de-risking, of spreading out the risk, right? Because I was making all of my money and getting all of my new clients and customers through TikTok. It did not occur to me that if anything went wrong with my TikTok account, if I got hacked, if I got banned, whatever it was, the whole flow of money would stop. Guess what happened? Randomly, one day, I log into my account and it says your account has been suspended for violating community guidelines. Did not give me any actual reason. I tried to appeal, no response. Finally, after days and dozens of times of submitting an appeal, I finally get a response saying that there's nothing I could do, no clarity as to why I got suspended. And so that was it. And I had some savings. I was trying to get my YouTube platform going, but nothing was sticking. There was no traction. It wasn't working. Nothing at all. And so I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a little bit to reset and go at it again. And so I ended up going to the Dominican Republic, which is where I'm from, or my mom's side. And I spent a lot of time in the Dominican Republic. Still, while I'm there, I'm trying to get my YouTube going. I'm trying to get my AI business going, but nothing's working. Nothing's happening. Mind it, my TikTok account had like 35,000 followers, right? So it was, and I was monetizing it pretty well. So it was doing some numbers. It was doing good numbers. And though I just lost it all. And that was okay. But that was my only source of income, which means while I'm in the Dominican Republic, the recurring revenue I'm having is going down, right? Because you're losing, you're maintaining and losing subscribers, but you're not gaining any new ones into the private community that I had, right? The educational community. Think of it like a Patreon, right? So I'm not getting any new subscribers, right? And I'm out in the Dominican Republic and I'm spending money. And I don't have a job, an entrepreneur. So naturally what happens is you start to use your credit card, right? So I'm using my credit card, and I always kept my limit at about 7,000. I kept my limit at 7,000 on my credit card. So by the time when I'm in the Dominican Republic now, my credit card is pretty much maxed out. Business wasn't really doing the numbers as it was supposed to, like I said. So I decided that it was time for me to humble myself and get a job again. And I said this in the previous video about being broke is a choice, or what things I wish I knew when I was broke. Never be above getting a job. If your income is not where you want it to be, never be above getting a job. Always be employed in some way, shape, or form, either for yourself or someone else, but always be employed, always be making money. Always have an income stream. Never allow yourself to be without an income stream. So I started applying for jobs while I'm in the Dominican Republic. I end up finding a job. I end up going through about 2 different interview processes for cybersecurity jobs, because I'm like, you know what, let's just go back into cybersecurity and IT. Let's try and make this work. We can start the business up again once we have a flow of income. Now here's when it gets really bad. So I end up getting accepted. I end up getting the job with this really great cybersecurity company based out in Waterloo, Ontario, which is like our Silicon Valley in Canada. And it's a really, really great company. I won't say the name, but focused on cybersecurity. Really great stepping stone for anybody who's looking to get into cybersecurity. This was great. The job was going to pay me about 70,000 Canadian, which is about maybe 65,000 US. But about a year after that, I'd be making closer to 90, and then from there over 6 figures. So I was about 2 years removed from making 6 figures. And I started to go through the onboarding process. Supposed to ship me a computer and stuff like that to my house. And all of this lines up perfectly because with my last job with Apple support, it was work from home. They shipped me a brand new Mac, a computer, a setup, everything. Now what happened was these guys set it up really well and made it really convincing, right? And they gave me a couple of checks that I was supposed to deposit in my account. Use this to order the equipment, the work from home equipment from the preferred vendor so that I get it at a discounted rate and order it to my house. Well, it turns out, just pressing fast forward here, that the whole thing was a scam and that those checks that I deposited in my account were fraudulent. And one thing led to another. I had already sent the employer the money. Turns out to not be a real employer. And those checks had bounced from my account. So my account ended up saying negative 3,000 or whatever it was. Literally, I woke up the next day and my TD bank account said negative 3,000. Could you imagine seeing that? And it got really bad. Not only did it say negative 3,000, but the bank froze all of my accounts because they thought that I was trying to steal money from the bank, that I was trying to defraud the bank out of money. But it wasn't like that. I got thrown into a job scam. So not only did my account say negative, but I couldn't pay any of my bills. My accounts were frozen. I couldn't withdraw any money. I was stuck. I had to pay for my car insurance. I had to pay for my cell phone bill. I had to, all these different little bills that I could not pay that were just bouncing out of my account now. All the non-sufficient fund fees. I was getting broker and broke. I was getting more broke and more broke by the minute. So now my account says negative 3,000. I have over $7,000 in credit card debt maxed out. So that's over $10,000 in the hole now, all the way down within about 6 months from being at the top of my game, building this AI business. And because of mismanagement of money and time and all of these things that I'm trying to educate you guys on and share with you guys, because I'm telling you, I've really been through it. From the top of my game, making $10,000 in a week, all the way down to $10,000 in the hole. See how life works? It's pretty funny sometimes. My own mother had to bail me out. My mother had to send me money to bail me out. The banks would unfreeze my account, and then I would have to call the bank to unfreeze my account. They say they unfreeze it, and then as soon as I hang up the phone and I try and pay for gas or something, my card declines because it turns out they froze it again. They restricted my account. There was a red flag. They made my life a living hell. I could not pay for anything. I could not use a debit card or a credit card. And this went on for weeks. So imagine that. Imagine you literally have no funds. You cannot use your debit card. You cannot use a credit card. You can't do anything. You're not making any money. All the money you have is going towards a credit card debt. You are literally just existing, right? And I'm 27 at the time. I'm a grown man. My mother has to bail me out, right? None of this is working for me at all, right? You thought you were about to get started working a really great job for a really great company. The whole thing turns out to be a scam, and no one's able to help you out. No, I'm applying for jobs again right away. None of these jobs are hiring because there's a job crisis pretty much in Toronto, Canada, right? There are too many people and too few jobs hiring, or whatever it is. But none of these there's tech layoffs everywhere. It's the same in the US. So now it's impossible for me to find a job. So I have two options. Because what I'm not going to do is do nothing, right? But I have to hit the panic button at this point. Because how am I going to pay off this how am I going to get $10,000 out of this hole and pay my mother back and fix my bank accounts and make sure that I do this all before my credit score gets ruined? So my two options are, number one, I find a job ASAP. And since these tech jobs are not hiring, and who knows how long it's going to take, I'm pretty much at the mercy of these guys' will, whether or not they want to hire me. And there's people that are way more qualified who just got laid off who are trying to get a new job again. They're going to get hired before me. So my next option is to go work some minimum wage warehouse job, right? For Amazon or something that's going to hire me right away. Or I use everything in my power, all my knowledge, all my failures, all my losses, all of these experiences, and I go and try and start a business again and try and get to where I need to get within about 30 days. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. Those are my two options. Which option do you think I picked? Being where I am right now, I picked the second option because it got to a point where after having submitted hundreds, no joke, hundreds of well-executed job applications, reaching out to my network, right, on LinkedIn. I'm doing it the smart way. I'm trying to get referred into places. And none of these places are hiring. It's a bunch of emails saying, unfortunately, we decided to move forward with other candidates, even though my resume is great. I'm like, wow, I'm pretty much in a position where I'm begging and praying and hoping that someone's going to take me. And as a person and as a man, I was questioning what I was doing. I'm like, why am I in a position where I'm depending on someone else to give me money? And look at where it brought me, right? Every day I'm getting more and more broke and I'm getting more and more desperate, literally begging people to take me on as an employee. Or I can go work in a warehouse and, start choking and sneezing because of the dust. No, there's no way. I'm too talented. And this is when I start to lean into who I am and into my ego. I'm too talented for that, to be caught up in that position. And I hope you guys think the same thing of yourselves too, because those employers could fire me and lay me off at any time. And here I am begging for them to take me. And so what I did was I started my own business. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew that I love the wellness space. I love creating transformation in other people. I love the hypnosis stuff. I love the meditation stuff. So what I did was I tried to figure out the best way possible to provide transformation in another person. And how I started going about it was I started posting a ton of content on the things that I was genuinely excited to talk about and had some kind of knowledge in, right? And this turned into me formalizing, finally, Deep Mind Programming Co. Even though I was doing this informally for a very long time, I'm like, let's finally turn this into a business. And I started doing all the things that I'm sharing with you guys in previous videos. I started posting 5 times a day on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. And within 30 days, I finally got my first client, right? And then in that, within 4 weeks after that, I got my first 4 clients. Boom, that's $10,000 US, right? And I think the only reason why I even dared to do that, why I even dared to go with that second option, is because I just refused to accept that was my reality. That I'm in a position where at the time I'm a 27-year-old man living with my mom has to support me financially because I don't have a job, right? Because it's one thing to think you're an entrepreneur and not want to work a job, but it's another thing to actually do what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And what I wasn't going to do is just sit on my butt and not do anything. I was actually dead set on building the business, and I was going to get it by any means. And you'd be surprised as to what you can do when that is your attitude. I worked a recruitment job. I was recruiting senior level accountants and people in finance. This was my first sales job. And funny enough, people would go from being the worst performer in the company to being the best performer when the stakes were high. One guy went from being the worst performer to the best performer when he realized he had a kid on the way. And most people just aren't willing to realize how high the stakes are, because the stakes are really high, right? The stakes being that you never get to see the desired reality and the dreams that you want to see, that you've always been thinking about. Because it's really possible that you miss your window of time. And I share all this to say that life can change in an instant. If you demonstrate how badly you want something, how badly you're willing to fight for something, and how much work you're willing to put in to see your dreams come true, It's insane how quickly life can change. The universe will respond. God is listening. The universe is listening. However you perceive it, this life can change in an instant, and I want you to buy into that belief every day. And as chaotic as that storm was, I just knew that that was not going to be how it ended. That was not going to be my reality, right? And so I just said, screw it. And I started going for it. I just started fighting. I just started posting tons of content. I'm like, you know what? The world's going to hear me. The world is going to hear me. The world's going to know me one way or another. And I'm going to get there by providing more value than anybody else in my space. And that's what I did. And that's what I'm continuing to do today. And so it makes me like perplexed when I see someone trying to be in the wellness space or the hypnosis space. They're just starting out. They haven't made any money. I'm here posting 3 to 5 times a day and they're posting once a day. How do you ever expect to build enough momentum when there's someone like me out there? I'm at this level and I'm outworking you 3 to 5 times as much, right? The losers feel like they're doing too much work. The winners feel like they're never doing enough. And when I had nothing, that became my attitude. That changed everything. That became my attitude. That changed my entire reality very quickly in 30 days. And I told myself that I'm never going to rely on someone else to put food on my plate. I'm never going to rely on someone else to pay me. I'm going to set it up in a way where I never go broke again. Paid my mom back, paid off all the debt, standing on a lot of cash. You know, I'm getting ready to buy my first investment property. I'm looking at buying a new car, like a really nice car. Right? I'm building out deep mind programming school for all the people who want to be on this route as well. I know how bad it gets. I've been literally dead broke. And I've also felt what it feels like to make more money than you ever thought you could make. That's a real quantum leap. And it will come to you when you are ready. The universe knows when you're ready. When you're ready, God will show up. When you're ready, the universe will show up. When you're truly ready in your heart, the blessings will show up. They're right here. They're always waiting for you. But they're waiting for you to go take it. This life can change in an instant. You gotta fight for it, man. And most people just don't have the willpower anymore. And it's scary. Where did everybody's willpower go? Where did everybody's will to fight for their dreams go? What happened? What is it? Is it everybody like dopamine drained? Nobody's disciplined anymore? That's why David Goggins said it's so easy to be successful, because it is. Look at your competition now. Now's the time to go for it, because everybody else is so distracted. So caught off guard. If you can focus for 20 minutes, if you can do 20 minutes of focused work a day, you're probably ahead of 98% of people. Just 20 minutes. It's I don't know what's going on anymore, but that's besides the point. The point is, I share this with you guys because it's important for me to be transparent as to where I came from, what I'm going through, and where I'm going. Because I never had appreciation for the gurus on the internet. The gurus are the know-it-alls. I want you guys to know that at many points in time, and even right now, I don't know it all. But what I'm doing by putting this content out as often as I am is showing you guys that, hey, I'm trying to figure it out too. You guys are watching me in real time trying. I'm fighting. I'm trying to figure it out. And hopefully that inspires you to keep fighting too, to keep posting content too. Because I believe my life is exploding right now. I believe it's happening right now for me. I don't believe that it's going to change or that it's going to explode in a great way. I believe it's happening right now. Always right now. That I'm moving to the next level of my success right now, and I hope that you guys can buy into that belief for yourselves. So when you do it consistently and you really, it just in the quietness and privacy of your bedroom, you're just celebrating yourself, literally making the gestures and just as though you just won something. Watch how that calibrates your mind, your body, and thus your life. Watch how that changes things. This life can change in a heartbeat, in an instant. I'm going to stop the video there, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm always curious to know. And most importantly, give this video a thumbs up. That's all I ask of you. Give it a thumbs up to boost it in the algorithm. I think a lot of people could benefit from watching these videos. I'm out. Peace.